Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the differences between a low chip and a high chip, okay? So I'm going to hit two shots here for you. First one being low. And now this one is going to be a higher chip. Now, what do we notice in those two different shots? They differ very much so, okay? Our low shot is more controlled by our lead hand. For me, being a right-handed golfer, it is controlled by my left hand. As I set up to this ball's in the back of my stance. My feet are relatively close together, weight on my lead foot, and my toes are actually slightly rotated towards the target. This will allow me to keep that weight on my lead foot throughout the entire swing. Now, my hands are in the center of my body, but with the ball in the back of my stance, it puts my hands slightly in front of the ball. Now from here, as I said, I'm controlling this more with my lead hand. I'm keeping this club low to the ground as I swing. And you'll also notice that as I keep it here, if there were a plane, if you're looking at the plane of my swing, it's actually coming maybe a little lower, maybe a little underneath of my plane. I'm not bringing it up. It's a much shorter swing because that ball is going to land shorter and then it's going to roll out further than what we are used to. So remember, low shot is controlled by your lead hand. Keep that lead hand in control throughout the entire swing. So I'm going to feel my lead hand go back, and then as I go through, I'm going to let that lead hand continue turning and going facing towards my target. Okay? And you'll notice that as I do this, it stays relatively low to the ground on the way back, and then relatively low on the way through. I'm not letting this club head pass my hand. That will lead us into a higher shot. Okay? So the difference between the low shot and the high shot is ball position will now be more in the front of my stance. My hands are still at the center of my body, but with the ball in the front of my stance, it puts my hands slightly behind the ball, which allows me to get a little bit more loft on the club. Okay, so you notice as the shaft goes back, I add a little bit more loft, allowing me to get it a little bit higher up into the air. Now, the biggest thing is the high shot is controlled by my trail hand, okay? So I'm going to feel my trail hand pick this club up and then pick it up on the way through. So you'll notice that as I do this, there's much more wrist hinge for the high shot, and I let this club head pass my hands through impact, okay? I'm not leaning back to do that. I'm keeping my weight still on my lead foot, but I'm just controlling this more with my trail hand and almost making more of a V shape with this club head. So I'm picking it up with more wrist hinge and then letting it pass through my hands through impact. Okay? You'll also notice that as I hit the shot, with the high shot, it's coming much more up. So as we talked about that plane, the low shot was a little bit more underneath of it, to where this high shot is going to be coming up a little bit more. So it's going to be a little steeper, and then letting it pass through my hand. So those are the two different types of shots that you can hit while chipping, a low and a high. Learn how to do those, and you can control your golf ball much better and get yourself out of sticky situations.